Hello. Today I'm going to talk about how to get your acquisition data into AstroBin much faster than having to punch it in line by line. So you can see here sometimes you have images that span quite a long period of time with multiple filters, and it can really suck to put in every single one of these lines, particularly if you go add any of the extra information such as binning and gain and number of darks and things like that. But AstroBin has provided us a faster way to do this, which is the Import From CSV button here. Now, there's a lot of things to know about how to use this, so I'm going to walk through how to best use this tool. So first, when you go to upload your image and you're putting everything in an AstroBin and you click on Import From CSV, you're going to need to paste some text here. And he's got a link here, importing acquisitions from CSV, that will take you to a website that shows you what needs to be in there. So he's got a list of fields for date, filter. Some of them are required with an asterisk here, like number of frames, duration of the frames, stuff like that. Most of them are optional. These are the kinds of different things you can put in there. It's all the same stuff that's in the acquisition screen, but in this case, you're going to be using a CSV file or a comma-separated file with these keywords to do this. So let me show you what that looks like. So I've created a template that I use over and over again with the different fields in here. Now, typing it in a text editor is also going to be a pain in the butt. So instead, since this is a CSV file, we can open that in Excel. So to do that, you can just right-click on it and hit Open with Excel. I've already got it open here. And then that has it broken up by columns, so it's a lot easier to do things like copying and pasting particular values, particular rows, and things like that all the way down. So let me show you an example of what one of mine looks like. So this is the one from a cone nebula image I just put up recently, and it's got all the different dates here, the filters. I'll come back to what these numbers are in a second. Number of frames, duration, binning, all these numbers are the same, as you can see. And then I have a sky quality meter, so I have some Python code that helps me go through and get all these values. This is not necessary. You can just not have this column. But I like to have it in there. So that's what that sheet looks like. And then when I save it as a CSV and then open it as a text file for copying and pasting into AstroBin, then it's here in this nice comma-separated values file, which you literally just copy and paste the whole thing into this box here. And it will go make all these windows for you. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about how to make that spreadsheet. So first of all, the thing that will trip you up the most often with this process is the date needs to be in year, month, day format with dashes. And Excel, by default, does not put it in this format, but rather puts it in a slash format. So in order to have it do it this way, you need to select the whole column, go to More Number Formats, go to Date, and select the year, month, day setting here. Every time you reopen that text file in Excel, it will change the date format on you again. Get this a little bigger here. So as you can see, it has converted all the dates back to the slashes format. So every time I open this, I have to go change it back to date. And that's because in a CSV file, it doesn't have any information that Excel saves to a spreadsheet, so it doesn't know what format to open those date values in, and it will just open them in its default way. So we've got the dates. What I tend to do to get the numbers of frames is in the registered folder, when I'm finishing up a data set and I'm making this file, I'll go through. This is a different data set because I'd already deleted the registered images for the cone nebula. But I go through and select, okay, everything on the 9th of May And okay, that's 38. I'll go punch in 38 to the spreadsheet. A second. I'm eventually going to write some code to do this for me, which is one of the advantages of being able to use the CSV files, that now it's really easy for me to write code to generate the spreadsheet. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Well, easy in the sense it's easy to generate the CSV file. I have to do a lot of file name parsing and stuff like that, but we're not going to cover any of that here. So yeah, go grab the number of frames in that date range or for that particular date, and punch that into my spreadsheet. Okay, so the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Duration in seconds, binning, you'd use 1 for 1 by 1, 2 for 2 by 2. Gain, sensor cooling in Celsius. This has to be whole numbers. Darks, flats. Bortle also has to be whole numbers. Sky colorimeter does not have to be whole numbers. Okay, so filter. This is probably the trickiest part to get, and that's because each filter, including the size of the filter, has a specific number attached to it, these 4-digit numbers. And I've saved all mine in a sticky note that I keep. You could save it in a text document or something. But this way, when I go to do this, I don't have to go find the number again. I've already got them all here. So the way you find the number is, so you start on the AstroBin website, and you're going to go to Explore and go to Equipment. And then you're going to select Filters, and then start typing in the name of the filter that you used. So we'll go with Optilong H-alpha 3 nanometer. And I have the 2-inch version. And that takes me to the AstroBin equipment page for that filter, which has all the information for it and a bunch of other goodies. The number is located in the URL of the page for that equipment item. So this 3106 here, that is the equipment number that you need to use in the spreadsheet in order to designate that it is the 2-inch Optilong H-alpha 3 nanometer filter. And so you can do that for each of your filters, and then I would save those numbers somewhere for future use. Yeah, and then finally, once you've got all that information punched in, you just open up that spreadsheet now in Notepad or Notepad++, select all, and copy and paste it into the import acquisition sessions from CSV, and it will go through and populate all of those, including all of the other fields like binning and gain and cooling and all that stuff. And then you can hit save, and it will save it to the image. And that's all there is to it.